Welcome to Making All Votes Matter. This video takes a look at the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. Let's start with the definition of the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact idea. It's often referred to as NPV. The definition simply reads, states within a compact agree to cast all of their electoral votes to the candidate who wins most of the nation's popular votes. Here's what that looked like at this point in time. These 15 states in blue, plus Washington, D.C., have already agreed to the compact. They agreed to cast all of their electoral votes to the candidate who wins the most popular votes across the nation. Together, they currently have 196 electoral votes. The compact takes effect when they can add more states, so together they have 270 or more electoral votes. It's worthwhile to consider where most of the popular votes come from. Half of the nation lives in the 9 green states you see here. Another third of the nation lives in the yellow states, while only a sixth of the nation lives in the remaining 25 gray states. This reality has a direct impact on presidential campaigns. Most of the campaign attention and money will go to the most populated areas. In fact, most of the attention and money spent will be in the major cities rather than in rural America. Why bother with Alaska when states like California or Florida or New York offer so much more? Let's do a little experiment to see how it all could play out. Here are the 15 states again with a few more added so they collectively can reach their 270 electoral vote goal. What would have happened in the 2016 election? Here are the 2016 election results if NPV had been in place that year. Since Clinton won the most popular votes, she would have captured all 270 electoral votes. She would have won. But what if Trump had won the popular vote? Now, it's not out of the question. It was a very close race and could have gone either way. What would that look like? Here are the election results if Trump had won the popular vote. He would have captured 535 electoral votes to Clinton's 3. The actual results were that Clinton won 227 electoral votes to Trump's 304. The point here is that NPV results can be very misleading. Remember, the Electoral College is still in place. NPV does not remove it. The Electoral College results may not reflect how people voted at all. In fact, we can easily say that NPV is a ridiculous, radical, and dangerous idea. Okay, you may think that's a rather snarky attitude, but let me explain. Imagine you come down with a fever, and that's not hard to imagine in these pandemic times. You contact your doctor and explain you're hot. Imagine your doctor says, go take a cold shower. Well, you might get the results you want, the fever may go down, but you haven't been cured because there was no diagnosis. NPV advocates want to fix an election problem, but they have not diagnosed the problem. They either don't know what that problem is, or they're ignoring it. Therefore, NPV is ridiculous. NPV is radical. It defies the Constitution. It ignores the sovereignty of states. And NPV puts voters at risk of not being represented in the Electoral College. As was discussed in an earlier video, the Constitution can be amended if we want it changed. The NPV advocates ignore that and try to change the rules. They want to defy the Constitution. Second, NPV ignores the sovereignty of states. Every state deserves its own independent voting voice. NPV ignores that fundamental concept of our republic. And third, NPV can ignore the plurality of a state's voters by not giving them representation in the Electoral College. Imagine if you vote as most of the citizens of your state do. Normally, your vote would be represented in the Electoral College. If the nation votes differently, however, most of the voters in your state will be ignored. You and your fellow voters will not be represented in the Electoral College. Your voting voice will be silenced. NPV is dangerous. NPV results are misleading, causing messaging that ignores the true voting sentiment. We get fake news in this kind of a situation. Our news is important. If it's inaccurate, our confidence in our election becomes eroded. Journalistic truth suffers. Here are a few more concerns to consider. NPV does not provide any provision if an election is close. Which state does a recount? Will it be the state within the compact with the closest election? Will it be the state that gathers the most votes? Will they all have to do a recount? And then which state pays for the recount? Or will all of the compact states share the cost? What happens if a state drops out of a compact? What if the compact no longer has the 270 votes? Do those states simply do what they've done before? NPV is not the right way to improve our presidential elections. Please tell others about these videos. Check out the website at www.equalvoicevoting.com. Let's make all the votes matter. Thank you.